Welcome to the Coach Jake Gaines Show, sponsored today by WC Wright & Son. I'm your host, David Simpson. Coach, I wasn't planning on today talking about our first loss, but it is what it is. But kind of talk about the historical information of this game. It was the first time an out-of-state team came to Moody.
Yeah, that was exciting. I know our kids enjoyed that. We got to play kids not just from another state, but from a state that's pretty far away. They have some really good football players. Obviously, very, very talented team. They got a great coaching staff, and there was a lot of exposure. Netflix was here. They're filming a documentary on.
Oh wow!
On they call it a conference, but what we know is a region. So each team in that conference, it's 4 top 25 teams in the country are in that 8-team conference. So each team's getting like a episode or two from what I can understand, and their episode was on Coach Calhoun, their coach, who's from Alex City, played at UAB, coming home, going to Alabama, returning, seeing his former teammates. There were a bunch of UAB players there that played with him, family, friends, and so that episode. So we'll be on Netflix for that.
That's awesome.
So that's cool. So it's just exposure, and again, I said it to Willie on the field after the game. That game was for November, and I could not have asked for anything to simulate what a third, fourth round game versus a Pleasant Grove Ramsey team is going to be like, and that's exactly it. And so we're more prepared. We've learned a lot from it. We're going to get a lot better, by the time we face someone like that. But again, I'm overall proud of our kids the way we fought.
And thank the Moody fans for the hospitality. I had the 2 coaches up in the booth next to us. We were obviously at the end of the game. They actually stopped by and just said thank you so much for the hospitality, and I think that impressed them so much. But you talked about the region they were in. I don't know if you can tell us if they were here in Alabama. I know being a private school, would they be a 4A, 5A, 7A?
I don't know about enrollment, with competitive balance in Alabama. Every time private school gets to certain points, they move up. But I can tell you that they would be a top 5 team in 7A from coaching in 7A for 5 years. And Coach K was at Thompson with me. And, we both agree they would be, without a doubt, a top 5 7A football team in Alabama. And we were, right there, should have won.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, let's get into the details of the game. First quarter, pretty much ball control on their side. I mean, we took the opening kickoff. They deferred. We took the ball. We were 4 and out. Kind of saw real quick how fast their defense was. Yep. But then we punted to them. I think Caleb Goff did a great job punting Friday night.
He did.
And so they drove, and they were really ball control with the clock in that first drive.
Yep.
I looked up, and it was like, man, this quarter's almost over. Then we go into the second quarter, and we kind of got our groove going offensively. Can you speak of that a little bit?
Yeah, so that was an 11-play drive. They had 3 third-down conversions. They were all 3 3rd and 4, and we got to get off the field. And that's on us. We missed a tackle in the backfield. We missed a tackle in the hole on the first one, and then we give up the 3rd and 4 on the goal line in man coverage. But our offense, we start to move the ball. We, most of the game would hurt ourselves with a penalty or, a sack. But when we were able to successfully move the ball, we were, quick screens, quick perimeter throws. It's really hard to work your drop back pass with who they had coming. I thought we held up good in pass pro for the most part, and then they've got really good DBs that can cover receivers. And so it kind of took a lot of things out of our hand. But we were able to find the end zone there in the second quarter, and then after a huge interception, we were able to get a field goal out of that too to get to 10 points. But disappointed we had the ball on the 2-yard line, 1st and goal, and we take a holding penalty on 1st down, back us up to the 12, and have to kick the field goal. So, like I said, the penalties, self-destruction kind of hurt the offense more. It felt worse than it was. You go watch the tape, and you're like, man, we actually moved the ball. We did some good things. But the penalties and the mistakes caught us, and that ultimately hurt us.
So the drive that scored the first TD for Moody, we were moving the ball. They had a face mask call on Blaine, kind of kept the drive alive. What was the decision-making? I know they were so fast. Every time Blaine got the ball, they were just swarming in on him. I guess your coaches up top in the box saw something that, hey, let's do the double pass and it was a thing of beauty.
Yeah, the offensive staff, they did a great job. Coach K made a really good call right there. Their eyes, the DBs, they have some eye discipline. They look inside. They're a man, but they're looking inside the quarterback at the run. So we threw the shuffle, that pass out to Blaine and got tackled for a 4-yard loss in the first quarter going the other way. So we thought we could get it out to him quick and into the boundary so there wasn't a lot of space, and then have him throw it to KD, and it worked pretty good.
It was a thing of beauty. So we get the ball, they get the ball back, and we get the turnover from Marshall late in the second quarter. They gave us some more momentum, and then, like you said, we get down first and goal, and then we have to settle for the field goal. And I think that was Junior Marino's first field goal of the year.
It was first field goal of my career. So I'm only, 15 16 games into this thing. But, no, I was proud of them. That we've only attempted 2. So we're 1 for 2 in my 2 years. But really proud of them. Operation was great, snap hold, all that stuff. We work every single day. And so we got to execute it, and it gave us the lead going in half.
I think that was the first time this year they had ever been behind at a game.
Sounds right.
And a lot of positives there. Come out the third quarter, and it was just back and forth, changing possessions. Can you talk about the third quarter a little bit?
Yeah, it was just a defensive, struggle. We're both just hitting each other and getting after the only 6 points scored in the second half were with 56 seconds left. And our defense held up all night. They did a great job. Like you said earlier, Caleb Goff did a great job on punt, pinning them deep, flipping the field multiple times, and then offensively in the second half, we just drive got stalled by penalty or a sack or, a missed assignment here and there because, we're this close to breaking a good bit of plays that you probably can't see unless you go back and review it on tape. But was proud of the way they fought. They never hung their head, even when we had the ball 55 seconds on our own 17. I felt like the offense took the field with some purpose and obviously go 4 and out. But we competed to the end, so I was proud of them.
Well, the fourth quarter, we have the ball. We want to do that last drive. Talk about that last drive. With about 6 minutes to go, and I'm thinking we got to run that clock down. Mm-hmm. Can you explain to the audience, because a lot of people have asked me, the decision I like the call. A lot of people like the call on the fake punt.
Yeah. So the fake punt, they hadn't given us that look that we thought we were going to get. We put it in. They bring 8. They leave 2 guys out wide that are kind of checking for fake, but they didn't really have anybody in the middle. We've got the 2 up-backs in our punt formation. We felt like we could slip one through, and like we did. And so we see that we get the look. I'm telling Brady and Caleb to wait on me. I'm letting the clock roll down, and just right there about 8 seconds on the clock left, I just called it. They lined up. Their kids were listening to me. They were looking at me, and we kept it real casual. I don't think anyone knew, and man, it was wide open. We just didn't execute it. All 3, bad snap, knees on the ground, drop the pass anyways. But with the knee on the ground, we ended up taking a 14-yard loss right there, which was worst-case scenario because if it's incompletion, at least it's 14 yards further and they got to go.
Yeah. Well, your defense played one heck of a ball game. Your offense, I know, struggled at times, but hung in there, got points on the board. It was a tough loss, but it's a non-region loss, and like you said, it prepared you for November.
Yep.
Looking at the future, is that something you might do next year or years down the road to schedule another out-of-state game, or maybe Moody travel out-of-state?
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever I can do to expose my kids to a playoff atmosphere, that's absolutely going to do. I did not have the job when the schedule was made. So when this opportunity came about to get, out of a game and play this, top 10 DC team, we jumped on it. We weren't scared. We weren't holding our breath. A lot of those kids, I think the coach said they've got kids from 3 or 4 different states that go to their school because it's all right there, the Virginia, DC area right there. So, we were excited for the opportunity. Our kids didn't back down. They weren't scared. We held our composure, which I was really proud of.
You did.
You got chippy. That's a style of ball that a lot of people play, and they thrive in that in terms of just getting you out of your game. Mm-hmm. And I liked it. I loved watching it, and it was competitive. But our kids held their composure. We didn't have any personal fouls, late, anything like that. And so I was proud of that fact. But yeah, I think next year when we get the new region in December, and we're looking at if we need 3 or 4 out-of-region games, we'll definitely, put our feelers out and see what's available and who we can go compete with.
Okay. Well, thanks, Coach. We're going to take a quick commercial break at this time. Today's show is sponsored by W.C. Wright & Son, a proud sponsor of Moody Blue Devil football.
You think this is just a gray metal box, right? Let's get a little closer. Closer? Amanda brand gas furnaces are designed, engineered, and assembled in the USA. So this baby is true red, white, and blue.
Contact Bart Perry for an auto quote today.
One might be tempted to say, "Excuse me, Mr. Grill Man, there appears to be a little extra burger on my burger." You're dang right there is. Everybody goes to Milo's.
Welcome back to the Coach Jake Gaines Show, sponsored today by W.C. Wright & Son, a proud supporter of Moody Blue Devil football. Joining me now is offensive lineman, center Brennan King, and all-purpose athlete Marshall Teofilo. Guys, thank you for joining us today. Brennan, I want to talk to you first. The O-line, I talked to Poe last week, and Jackson Randall, for those that don't know Poe's nickname, and y'all don't get a lot of love, but we're going to show you some love today. I know it was a tough game Friday night. Can you kind of explain their defensive linemen, how physical they were?
I mean, yeah, they were physical, but it was also like they were just really fast. Like we got our hands on them, and they would send their linebackers immediately.
So you being the captain of the O-line, when a drive is kind of struggling, are you trying to get the team, rally the troops, being the captain of the offensive line? Is that how you do it?
I mean, I would say I try, but I think it's more like a conjoined thing with me and Poe.
So last year you came in late in the season when Jackson Huckabee had the leg injury. You played guard. So how is it coming from playing a guard position to a center position?
I don't really think it's that different, other than I have the ball.
Have to snap the ball?
Yes, sir.
So I talked to Coach Slade, and go back to the Alexandria game, you won the pancake belt.
Yes, sir.
So for those that don't know, watching on the show, the pancake belt is where you have the most number of pancake blocks. Can you explain pancake block again to the audience?
So a pancake is when like you blocking somebody and they like you just outpower them and they fall on their back and you jump on them.
So how many did you have?
I had 16.
16 pancakes. Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So this week we're back in region play here at the Bill. Lincoln, were you able to watch any film yesterday on Lincoln, any, to kind of get how that team is?
We watched some this morning, but we didn't watch any yesterday. And they're good, but they're not like the team we played last Friday.
Yeah, well, that was a very very good football club you played last Friday. So this Friday you've got Lincoln. The O-line is kind of getting their groove going. Are y'all take pride in trying to get Blaine 100 yards every game?
Yes, sir.
And protecting Charlie on passes?
Yes, sir.
Well, I appreciate your time today. And Coach Slade, so let me ask you one thing. With Andre Smith and Chad Slade being your coaches, how is it being coached by 2 college and 2 NFL players?
I mean, the O-line, we definitely take pride in that because, like, we just know they've been far, and they can help us get far.
So is Coach Slade hard on you during practice?
Not really.
Not really.
No, sir.
Well, Brendan, thank you for the time talking with us today. Also, they know you as BK. For those watching on the show, it's BK. Now, Marshall Teofilo, man, what a game you had Friday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So the game, we score, they get the ball, and you, from where my view was, you played that play perfectly to get that interception to get us in the next, to get the field goal to take the lead. Can you explain the play call, the defensive play call on that on your interception?
Yes, sir. So it really came down to film time. We saw that when they go trips with the one on the other side, they like running that skinny post. and they attempted that. I think they threw a completion on that same play, so I figured it was coming. So I opened up, see him turn in. So I just flipped my hips back open, and the ball's there. Make a play on the ball.
It was a thing of
Back
beauty.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So third quarter, we take the lead in halftime. That's the first time they were ever down this season, Bishop McNamara. So third quarter, they're having a pretty good drive, and they're going to the short side of the field. And all of a sudden, number 2 for the Blue Devils takes a fumble and starts running with it. So kind of explain that play a little bit.
Yes, sir. Again, film time, we saw that their ball security was probably one of their weakest points in their game. Tried to expose that, get some turnovers. A couple plays before, he got me pretty well, hit me with a stiff arm, so I was kind of fired up and wanting to get back at him. So went and made the tackle, punched the ball out, and it just fell out right in my arms. So
I was hoping you was going to take it to the house, but unfortunately it didn't go that way. How physical was Bishop McNamara on defense when you were making a tackle?
They were definitely one of the more physical teams, which we practice. I mean, we are who we are. We're physical too. I mean, I don't want to.
Yes, we are.
Depend how they do or how they are.
Yeah.
Change us how we play. I mean, we're gonna play physical. We're gonna play fast. We're gonna make plays on the ball, make tackles, no missed tackles. We want to be the best tackling team in the state.
So now your defense, you came in due to some injuries. I mean, you played first couple of games, but now you're a starter on defense. Also, you're being used on offense. Can you kind of explain playing both ways? How hard is that playing both ways?
Yes, sir, Love. I mean, I want to be in the best position to help the team the most. I mean, this offseason, really attacked it hard, hitting the weight room, doing all the right things, taking care of my body, make sure I'm putting the right stuff in my body, and preparing over the offseason. And then came to season, it just – I reaped what I sowed over the offseason.
So last week against Alexandria, you get a touchdown. This week you get a fumble recovery and an INT. So the last 2 weeks have been very good, and your hard work's paying off. Looking toward Lincoln this week here at home, any thoughts about Lincoln?
They're another good team. They got, athletic quarterback, but I think we're going to attack it the same defensively, be who we are. We're watching film on them today. They do have athletic, respect them. And we're just going to continue to go and try to no point scored.
That's right, yeah. Well, the defense is really as good as advertised, and offensively, you come in when I think the Rhino package, you come in, and that's something new this year. It's a joy to watch both of you play. It's really been fun. I know it was tough Friday night, but like Coach said, we expect to win every ball game. Again, we want to thank you guys for your time. Real quick, though, I didn't ask Brendan. So, being a junior, have you had any scholarship offers come your way yet, or any?
Not yet.
Not yet. Marshall, any?
No, sir.
Not yet.
Really
Well, believe me, it's going to start coming because Moody's having a good year, and they're watching film, and we're on the 411 network, and there's a lot of people watching the games when we're live on Friday night. I think last week we had over 2,000 viewers at one time. I mean, during the whole game, so that's exciting too. And you had college coaches here for both of you. So good luck to the rest of the year. Hope and pray y'all both stay healthy. Thank you again for your time. I know it's a school day and you got schoolwork to do. And, again, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us today for the Coach Jake Gaines Show, sponsored today by W.C. Wright & Son.
You think this is just a gray metal box, right? Let's get a little closer. Closer. Yeah, Manabrand air conditioners are designed, engineered, and assembled in the USA.
Play hard, play to win. But when sports injuries occur, you can rely on Encore. Our professional team treats all types of sports-related injuries for athletes of all ages. Our licensed therapists work closely with the patient, your family, and physician to get you back into action quickly and safely. At Encore, we love to see you move. Log on to EncoreRehab.com for a location near you.
What? How is that a flag?
He landed on him after the sack. That's roughing the passer.
What if he hit him high?
Roughing the passer.
And low?
Roughing the passer.
Well, what if he tramples him and then he's like, oh no, and he tries to go back and he tramples him some more and he's like, I'm so sorry.
Wait, what?
Welcome back to the Coach Jake Gaines Show, sponsored today by W.C. Wright & Son, a proud supporter of Moody Blue Devil football. Well, Coach, we're back home Friday night at the Bill. back in region play, and we're taking on Lincoln. Can you share some thoughts about Lincoln?
Yeah, and they're a really good football team. They they had a tough game at Alexandria, but I mean we know as anybody, Alexandria is a tough football team, and regardless if they're down, up, whatever, they're going to give you everything they got. So those kids played really hard, but they found a way to win. They've got a really, really good quarterback. He can throw it. He can run it. They've got good skill players. O-line gets after it, and then defensively they're long. They're rangy. Not necessarily Bishop McNamara, but they do a really good job on defense, and they've got a great coaching staff. So it's going to be a heck of a challenge, and I'm excited to see how our guys respond.
So this game, if you win this game, kind of sets the tone for the remainder of the season in region play. Can you kind of explain to some people's ask, how do you qualify for state? I know obviously you win the region or finish second, but third and fourth in the region has to end up traveling. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Right. So, the first two seeds in the first round, so, your first and second seed will host to play the first round, and then your third and four will go travel. And this year we match up with the Arab region, so it's Arab, Gunnersville, Scottsboro, Sardis, Boaz, and Douglas is a 6-team region this year. So, you always want to host. You always want to be at home in front of your crowd. Playoffs. Last year Jasper, first home playoff game since 2004. I mean, it was awesome, and that's the goal, obviously, to host a playoff game. But at the end of the day, I tell my kids we just got to get in the dance. And the dance is November. We just got to get in the dance, and it's 5 one-game seasons. So this game is so big because of that. Non-region, you want to win every game you play. We got one more non-region the following week versus Shelby County at home, but these next 5 region games are huge for not just playoff position, but you go back to last year. We lost versus Leeds. Lose by a point. Leeds ends up hosting Scottsboro round 2. We go to Arab, and Arab takes Pleasant Grove to double overtime, and Leeds handled Scottsboro pretty well. So you think all the what ifs about if we find a way to win that game and then we host Scottsboro round 2, we might have lost, but maybe probably had a better chance to win than going up to Arab. So it's huge, and the kids know that. It's a big game. We tell our kids it's a big game because we're in it, and it's the next one. So we got to find a way to get out there and compete. And we're not looking at last week. We're done with that. We are correcting and moving on today. But as far as our mindset, it's just next man up, next opponent.
So I was going to follow up on that a little bit about taking the loss and then coming in here yesterday, watching game film and going through your regular weekday, routine. How was the guys? I mean, the mentality of it. You got to focus on that and kind of discuss that a little bit.
Yeah, I think they were fine. They were, I'm probably a little different. I expect to win every game. I know a lot of coaches say that, but they really don't. And I expect to win every game. So when we lose, it's a loss. I don't believe in moral victories. Marshall said it to the Trussville Tribune, which I didn't see till last night, but he said that in his quote. He said, "It's a loss. No more victories. We got to get back to work." And I mean, it's a sophomore leader on my football team, and he's echoing exactly what I say. And that tells me we're going to be a really good football team. When the leadership and the coaches on the same page, it's special. But I had a lot of Moody fans happy and proud, and I appreciate them. And I got some texts this weekend about how good we played, and my wife, she's probably the only one that came to me after game just like, we don't lose, and I appreciate that because she knows I'm not okay with the loss. I'll never be okay with the loss. You'll never hear me say, "Oh, well, we tried hard." It's you win or you lose. And so when I tell my kids about preparing them for life, you hear a lot of coaches say it's not about wins and losses. It's about being good young men. Well, I agree in a way, but at the same time, if we're not teaching them how to win in life, then
that's true.
They're going to lose, and there's going to be tough times with their job, their families, their kids, their wives. I mean, there's adversity that we all face as grown men, and I'm trying to teach them how to win at no matter what, regardless of what the circumstances are. Down 4 starters against a team of superstars, it doesn't matter. We had the ball with a chance to win. We had a chance to get a stop. We had a chance to ice the clock and convert the the fake punt. Like there's a lot of things that we could have done to win that game, and so people tell me, man, that'd have been the biggest win ever. You know, that's the best team we've ever almost beat. And when they said that, it just reminded me of some old Moody vibes that I've kind of been trying to put away. You know, we're moving on. We're you know, new level, new devil, and we're trying to find a way to always compete and set our culture where we're not okay with wins. But again, I do appreciate everybody, and I appreciate everyone's support. You know, it wasn't I would much rather have that than them say, "Oh, y'all are terrible. You suck, coach." You know, stuff like that. But I do want to win every game, and I want that to be clear. I'm not here to go 6-4, 7-3, 8-2, whatever, you know, a record may be. I'm here to bring home a blue map to Moody, Alabama.
And there's nothing wrong having those thoughts. I think that's a great way to prepare your team each week, that we always want to win a football game. Well, Coach, thank you for your time today. This week at the Bill, a Region 6 game against Lincoln. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Tickets will be available at the gate. They will take cash. You can also go ahead and get your ticket on GoFan on the app. Go ahead and purchase your ticket for that. The 411 Network will be going on starting at 6 p.m. with a replay of the Coach Jake Gaines Show. And pregame will start around 6:20, 6:25, maybe 6:30. All depends on how everything is set up. Once again, we thank you for joining us today for the Coach Jake Gaines Show, sponsored today by W.C. Wright & Son, a proud supporter of Moody Blue Devil football.